There is one scalping strategy I use almost every day. It's stupid simple and extremely reliable. And most days I'm done within the first hour of the trading day. But I'm not here to brag about wild numbers. What matters most is that this strategy is working for traders who started watching this channel. People who are trading live with us every day in our trading community. New traders, busy parents, full-timers, all trading the same setup. Day in, day out, and finally seeing consistency. If you're new here, my name is Sylvia, and I've been trading for 12 years now. When I first started trading, I was anxious, reactive, and totally overwhelmed. There was a time where I was scalping like crazy. Every candle felt like a signal. I was chasing alerts in chat rooms and refreshing my screen all the time. My heart was constantly racing. Honestly, I'm surprised that I didn't get a heart attack. And I was convinced I just need to be faster and react quicker. But guess what? The faster I clicked, the faster my account disappeared. I would finish the day exhausted, mentally wiped out, and nothing to show up for but confusion and regret. I remember one day I hit a breaking point. I was so tired of losing that I thought, I hope the market doesn't open today. I hope there is some global internet outage because I cannot do this anymore. And that's when, luckily for me, my mentor stepped in. He got serious and fully committed to helping me. And he told me something that hit me harder than any losing trade I've ever had. You're not trading the market, you're reacting to chaos. I didn't want to hear it because he was right. I did not have a system. All I had was noise. So I wiped my charts clean and stopped chasing alerts in chat rooms and hope for gimmicky tricks. He showed me something simple, visual, and repeatable. Something that works even in fast markets. And today I will break down the exact rules for you. Oh, and by the way, my mentor became later my husband. Now we know why he was fully committed to helping me. Now earlier I promised that this strategy is stupid simple, and I mean that. You will not get any strategy that is simpler than this, because all you need to know is how to draw a box. And honestly, even my 4-year-old son knows how to do that. Now, don't let the simplicity fool you, because the box, if used right, will show you exactly where to enter, where to exit, and most importantly, how to avoid trades that are responsible for killing your confidence. Okay, so step number 1 is to draw the box. This is extremely simple. For that, we want to box in the previous day's high and the previous day's low, just like that. In my example, I'm using the stock AMD because we traded that a lot in our live trading community. You can use any other stock or any other asset that you want. Just make sure you box the previous day's high and low. The reason we want to focus on these two zones is because these are premium zones. This is where the biggest amount of buyers and sellers are positioned. And also, these two zones are where traders showed their strongest interest the day before. Think of like their psychological bookmarks of the market. And for now, I want you to remember something extremely important. The top of the box represents the biggest amount of sellers, and the low of the box represents the biggest amount of buyers. So typically, when the market opens the next day, it will try to reach one of these zones first, the high or the low. And I'm going to hit the replay button and show you what happened and explain the exact rules of the strategy. And as we can see right at the open here, we're heading towards the upper part of our box. Now remember what we said at the very beginning. The upper part of the box represents the biggest amount of sellers. This is where the most stop losses are sitting, and this is where typically institutional traders will place their sell positions. So rule number 1, do not buy at the top of the box. At the top of the box, we want to be looking to sell or to open a short position. We do not want to be buying at the upper part of our box. Rule number 2, never sell at the lower part of the box. We want to be buying at the lower part of the box because this is where the biggest amount of buyers typically show up and they are going to protect these zones. We don't want to be selling or opening short positions at the lower part of the box. And rule number 3, extremely important, we do not want to open any position in the middle of our box, especially not in the first 15 to 20 minutes after the US market open. The reason for that is because this is where the most volatility and choppiness happens and we do not have a real edge. Remember, we want to flow with the big institutional buyers or sellers. And in the middle of the range, there is just not enough liquidity and not a good risk versus reward to open a trade. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, when I first started trading, I would typically buy at the top of the box and I would get stopped out all the time. Typically, that would look bullish for me. I would think this looks like higher highs, higher lows, very nice formation, very nice breakout, and I would place an order above and buy it, and typically I would put a stop loss somewhere here. And unfortunately, this is what would typically happen. I would get stopped out all the time and I would not realize why I'm getting stopped out if everything looks bullish, because I've been missing key information. I did not understand back then that this is where institutional traders are selling and this is where I've been buying. So I've been doing it all wrong. And as we can see right here, this is exactly what happened. Sellers stepped in, started pushing the price further lower, and now we're heading towards the lower part of the box. As we can see, the price pushes further lower. Most likely we're going to reach that zone. And remember what we discussed again, we're not selling here at the lower part of the box. We want to be buying at that lower part of the box. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. The first time I saw that, I thought I could never buy there. This looks so bearish. It looks like the market is crashing. How I'm supposed to buy there. But here's what typically happens around this zone. Buyers are stepping in, trying to protect this area and trying to initiate long positions. And typically this is where the most retail traders will either start short selling or will place their stop losses and stop orders. And again, institutional traders are actually looking for that liquidity to open trade on the opposite side. So we want to flow with them and we want to be placing our longs and buy orders around this area. Now, to summarize what happened, the market opened and went straight towards the upper part of the box, and then immediately sellers stepped in, pushed the price lower. Guess where? Towards the lower part of the box, where on the other hand, buyers stepped in and started buying around this area. Okay, so now I would like to share with you 2 live trades and 2 examples that I took live in our live trading community. And the best part is not only I profited on these trades, but also members from our live trading community. Now, let's go ahead and start first with the stock AMD. And then I'm going to show you also one more trade on the NQ Nasdaq futures. So this right here is the stock AMD and the 5-minute chart. Each day before the market opens, I will box in the previous day's highs and lows, just like that. This area right here represents the previous trading day, the active trading hours, and this is exactly what I'm boxing in. So now I'm going to extend this box so that we can see it a little bit better visually. And by the way, this right here represents the after hours activity, and this is the pre-market activity. So remember what we discussed at the very beginning. We want to be looking for sells or short sell positions around this zone, or for a long position around the lower part of the box. I will not open a trade if the price stays around the midpoint of our box. Now I'm going to hit the replay button because I want to share with you what is the exact setup we're looking at, because we don't want to just blindly jump into a trade without knowing that they're real buyers or sellers and without seeing confirmation. As we can see right at the open, the price goes straight towards the lower part of our box. And again, this right here represents the biggest amount of buyers, and this is where most likely stop losses are sitting. So I will be looking for a long entry. For that, I want to see a very specific candlestick formation. As we can see here, I finally got the candlestick that I'm looking for. We're looking for the so-called John Wick candlestick. This candlestick has a long wick on the bottom, and this means that there are more buyers stepping in. Because the price went towards this lows and tested this zone, buyers stepped in and pushed the price all the way to the upside. So if you think about it, it takes a big amount of buy orders to flip the price and start pushing it higher. Therefore, this is giving me the confirmation that there are more and bigger buyers stepping in, trying to protect this area. So now I'm going to place a buy order right here and put my stop loss just underneath. So if I'm wrong on the trade and the price continues further lower, I will be stopped out. This right here is my buy order, and I'm placing my stop loss just underneath. As we can see, the price is going straight to the upper part of our box. Now we see here at this part of the box the pre-market activity, and we see a little bit of a consolidation, a little bit of rejection, a little bit more sellers. And if you start seeing here wicks on the top of these candles, this means that the price might flip and start going towards the lower part of the box again. Therefore, I'm just going to go ahead and close this scalp. For that, I'm just moving my stop loss tightly right here. And then if the market flips, I'm out of the risk and taking my profits for a very fast, quick move. As we can see, there are more wicks, more red candles showing up. So again, the price is struggling to continue further higher. And we also see the pre-market activity here. There's a little bit more of a rejection and resistance. Therefore, it was a good idea to exit this trade. As we can see right now, the price is heading towards the lower part of the box again. And if you have another setup and another opportunity, you can actually re-enter this trade again. Now, personally, I'm done. And this was only the first 1 hour of the trading day. I don't want to mess around and stay here for too long. Therefore, I am not going to re-enter again. Now, I'm going to share with you the NQ trade on the Nasdaq futures. Okay, so that right here is the NQ futures chart and the daily chart. And I'm going to share with you a different way of drawing the box. You can always start with the daily chart and just box in as we did on the 5-minute chart. You're going to box in the previous day's high and low. And so the next day, before I start trading, I'm going to use this high of that green candlestick here and the low. Now that we've boxed that in, we can switch on the lower time frame. So that right here is now our 5-minute chart. And as we can see, there was a bunch of after hours and pre-market activity. Because I'm not trading typically pre-market or during the night hours, I'm just typically showing up just before the market opens, and I'm going to be watching how the price action reacts at the open. Are we going to sustain this area or are we going to reach this area? We have the exact same rules. If we reach the upper part of our box, I will be looking for a short sell position. And if the price stays around this lower part of the box and I see a good setup, I will be looking for a long setup. Now I'm going to hit the replay button. So these two candles right here on the 5-minute chart represent the market open, which is in my case, again, 6:30 a.m. PST. And if I zoom out a little bit, you see here, this was our previous high of the day, which we boxed in. And now I'm going to look for a very specific candlestick formation. First, I want to see that there is a red candlestick showing up, because without that, I would not know if there are sellers stepping in. So I want to see that there are sellers stepping in, trying to push the price lower in order for me to open a short trade. Now I'm going to hit the replay button again. As we can see, the price continues further higher and we now have one red candlestick. Now, if I zoom out, you see here, this is even the previous day's high. So it's testing this resistance area where most likely more stops are sitting and potentially sellers are going to step in. I like this extension and I like the risk versus reward. Therefore, I would like to place an order. I want to enter right here. This is going to be my entry, and this right here is going to be my stop loss. And again, I took this trade in our live trading community live, and also many of our traders actually took this trade because they saw that setup as well. Now I'm going to place a sell order. Again, my stop loss is going to be placed slightly above, and now I'm going to hit the replay button so that we see what happens next. Now, we see the market immediately drops to the downside. And if you're someone who wants to be out of the risk quickly, you can trail your stop towards break even. Especially as a beginner, this is a great way to remove your emotions out of the trade, remove your mental capital, and not to have to worry about your trade all the time. Now that we see we have a little bit more of a consolidation, I dragged my stop here because we're reaching the lower part of our box. And remember what we discussed right here. The price might potentially reverse around this area if buyers step in. Therefore, I exited the trade around this area. If it continues further lower, fine, I'm fine with that because I took a very nice move to the downside. But if it reverses, I'm out of the trade and out of the risk. Now again, there are always different ways on how to manage your trade. You have to find the best way for you and what works for you the best and what's causing you the least amount of stress when you're in the trade. So these were two examples on how to use that box as your entry and exit areas, and how to, most importantly, not take the wrong trades with bad risk versus reward, which is in the middle of the box. I hope you find this video helpful. And by the way, each week we send a free weekly gains guide where we describe the areas, our bias, what exactly we're looking at when it comes to the futures, and we also send some of our best growth stocks. So thank you so much for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you back here on our channel again. Bye for now.